wonder why so many business owners are flocking to Nevada to form their LLCs? Well, it's not just about taxes, it's about privacy, protection, and long-term peace of mind. But those benefits only kick in if you know how to do this right. So in this video, I will walk you through every step to start your LLC in Nevada without the confusion or hidden pitfalls that most people run into. And there is one common mistake at the very first step that trips up more new business owners than you'd expect, but we'll get to that here in a minute. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs wonder why Nevada just keeps showing up on the best states for business list. Well, the truth is Nevada offers a combination of perks that can save you money and give you more peace of mind. The biggest win is that there's no state income tax, so not on you personally or not on your business profits. On top of that, Nevada doesn't charge a franchise tax, which is basically a yearly fee that some states force businesses to pay just to exist. Another huge benefit is privacy. While most states, they make owners list their names publicly, Nevada lets you keep that information private. And that means less of your personal details are floating around online. Add in Nevada's strong liability protections, which makes it tougher for creditors to go after your personal assets, and you can really see why so many people choose it. But here's the catch. Before you get any of those benefits, you have to tackle the first big step in Nevada, and that's choosing the right name for your LLC. But before we jump in too deep here, here's one thing to keep in mind. So starting your business, it should be exciting and not overwhelming. But forming an LLC on your own, that can get really confusing fast with all the legal forms, rules, and easy to miss details. Now, I will walk you through everything in this video, but if any part of this feels confusing along the way, I've got a favorite LLC formation service that makes the whole process super simple and stress-free. It's guided, beginner-friendly, and it only costs $39. So if you hit any bumps along the way, just click right up here to get step-by-step help setting up your LLC the easy way. So here's something that surprises a lot of new business owners. Not all names are available, even if you think that you've come up with something that's really unique. And Nevada has strict rules that you'll need to follow before your LLC name can be approved, which is what I was hinting at in the intro of this video. So at the most basic level, your business name, it has to be distinguishable from other companies that already have a presence in the state, right? That means that you can't call your business, Silver State Consulting LLC if there's already a Silver State Advisors LLC. Even small differences like punctuation or plural versions, they don't make a name unique enough. And the easiest way to check this is by running a quick search on Nevada's Business Entity Search tool, which is on the Secretary of State website, which is linked to in the description below, along with every other resource that I mentioned in this video. Now, your name also needs to include limited liability company or one of its short forms like LLC or LLC. And words like bank, engineer, or insurance, they come with extra hoops to jump through as well. You'll need additional approvals if you want to use those. Think of the name as not only your brand identity, but also your official legal marker. Once it's set, you can move to the next step, which is choosing who's going to officially represent your business in the state, and that is the registered agent. So every LLC in Nevada must have a registered agent. So in plain English, that means that you'll have to have a person or company who agrees to receive important legal and government documents on your behalf. We're talking about things like lawsuits, tax notices, or official letters from the Secretary of State. The state's rules are pretty simple. Your registered agent must have a physical street address in Nevada and be available during normal business hours. Now, technically, you could act as your own registered agent if you live in Nevada. But here's the downside to that. Your name and address will become part of public record, which means that anyone can look up your business and find exactly where you live or work. So for people who value their privacy or run their business from their home, that's not ideal. This is why I personally recommend a professional service, and one that I've used myself and is my own preferred provider is Northwest Registered Agent. Now, they're known for their strong privacy protections, their excellent customer support, and straightforward pricing. If you hire them to help form your LLC, the cost is only $39. And one of the best perks of using them is that you can use their business address on your public filings, which helps keep your personal address private and cuts down on junk mail. Now, if you want to check them out, go ahead and click right up here to learn more. And next, once you've got a registered agent lined up and figured out, the real paperwork here begins, which is filing the Articles of Organization, which officially creates your LLC with the state. Now, if there's one step where your Nevada LLC officially comes to life, it's filing the Articles of Organization with the Secretary of State. Until this form is approved, your business, it doesn't legally exist. That's how crucial this is. The articles of organization lay out the basics of your company. So it's legal name, your registered agent, management structure, and mailing address. Now, it might feel like simple paperwork, but it's much more important than that. It's a state's way of saying, okay, we officially recognize this business as a separate legal entity. And that recognition is what unlocks the liability protection an LLC is known for. So for single member LLCs, that's a big deal. Without this filing, there's no barrier between your personal and business worlds. If your company got into debt or was sued, your personal assets like your car, house, or savings account could be at risk. Now, for multi-member LLCs or partnership, this filing creates the legal foundation for your ownership. It makes clear who's in the business and sets the stage for defining roles and responsibilities in the future. Essentially, it prevents your partnership from being seen as just kind of an informal handshake. So while it may look like just another government form, and it technically is, the articles of organization are really what makes your LLC legitimate. And once Nevada approves them, the next smart step is drafting an operating agreement to set the rules for how your business will actually run. Now, Nevada doesn't legally require an operating agreement, but skipping this step can be a costly mistake. So for single member LLCs, the operating agreement is proof that your business is truly separate from you personally for liability protection. And for multi-member LLCs or partnerships, the benefits are even bigger. So an operating agreement, it puts all the rules in writing. So how profits are split, how decisions get made, and what happens if someone wants to leave the company. Without it, you're really stuck relying on Nevada's default laws, which may not match how you actually want to run your business. Think of it like the instruction manual for your company, right? It keeps everyone on the same page and helps prevent conflicts down the line. And once that foundation is secure, the next step is something that every business, big or small, needs to move forward, which is getting an EIN from the IRS. All right, so now let's talk about your employer identification number, or what they call the EIN from the IRS, right? So think of this as your social security number for your business. It's completely free, and you can apply online through the IRS website in just a few minutes. Now, why do you need one? Well, for starters, you'll need an EIN to open a business bank account. Keeping your personal and business finances separate is really critical for protecting your liability shield. An EIN also lets you hire employees legally and makes filing business taxes much simpler. With your EIN in hand, you're set up from the federal level. But Nevada has its own requirements too, specifically state taxes and business licenses, which we'll break down here next. So once you've got your EIN, the next step is making sure that you're compliant at the state level. Now in Nevada, that usually means two things. So that means state taxes and business licenses. So here's the good news. Nevada doesn't have a state income tax, which is a big reason that many entrepreneurs, including myself, choose it. But depending on your type of business, you may still need to register for other taxes. So for example, if you plan to sell physical products, you'll likely need a sales tax permit through the Nevada Department of Taxation. Now, employers also need to handle payroll taxes if they have employees, and every LLC in Nevada must also apply for a state business license, which is issued by the Secretary of State. It applies no matter what kind of business you're running. Now, on top of that, certain professions like contractors, real estate agents, or restaurants, they may require additional occupational or local licenses depending on your industry and the county. Now, the key takeaway here is that skipping licensing or tax registrations can lead to penalties, fines, or worse, having your business shut down. So it is critical to get this right from the start. Now, once all those boxes are checked, the final piece of the puzzle is understanding the actual costs of setting up and maintaining your Nevada LLC, both upfront and year after year. So by now you've seen the steps to get your Nevada LLC going. But the big question most people still have is, how much is this actually going to cost me? Well, let's break it down into two buckets. So startup costs and ongoing costs. So starting with startup costs. So the articles of organization, the filing fee, that is required. So to legally form your LLC, Nevada charges about $75 for the articles of organization. Then you have your initial list of managers and members. That's also required. So when you form your LLC, the state also requires you to file an initial list of your managers and members. And this filing fee is $150. Next, we have the state business license fee, and that is required. That's every Nevada LLC must get a business license from the Secretary of State, which is currently costing $200. Then there's a registered agent. That is optional, but highly recommended. So if you decide to use Northwest Registered Agent, it'll begin at $39 for the first year. So in total, most new LLCs in Nevada spend between $475 to $550 upfront to get started. Next, let's do ongoing costs. So the annual list of managers and members. So each year you'll need to update and refile your company's list at a cost of $150. Also, the annual state business license renewal. This renews every year with a fee of $200, and it can be more if you're late for filing, like I have been before. Then if you chose to use them like I do, we have registered agent. The ongoing yearly fee for that, if you're using Northwest Registered Agent, is $125. So altogether, the average annual cost to keep your Nevada LLC active is about $475 to $500 per year. Now, while that may sound like a decent chunk of change, remember what you're getting in return. You're getting liability protection, strong privacy safeguards, and the ability to run your business legally and with credibility. So the bottom line is, yes, starting and maintaining a Nevada LLC has real costs. But for many entrepreneurs, the combination of tax benefits, privacy, and protection makes it well worth the investment. Now, again, to help with this, I advise you to use a service like Northwest Registered Agent, which, again, you can click right up here to check out, as they'll help you stay in compliance year after year while you focus on the most important thing, which is running a profitable business. Now, if you have any questions for me or you're a little bit confused about the process, just drop me a comment below, and I will do my absolute best to help you out as soon as possible. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.